Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show, The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. And we're all here together.
Welcome. Hello, fellow Whovians. That's right. It's 2026, everybody. Happy New Year. Woo! No more applause. So, how y'all doing today? There we go. There's the applause. All right, let's take this thing down. That's the background. I don't want to take that out. Where is that? There we go. Take that away. Hello. Welcome. I'm super excited to be here with you guys. First show of 2026. And it's going to be a banger. That's it. But we want to hear from you guys. So we're talking the future of Doctor Who. What are we going to see over the next year, 2 years, 5 years? Tell us what you think. What do you want to see? What do you think is going to happen over the next few years? And yeah, let's see who else we got here. Starting off from the bottom of the deep blue ocean, we've got Patrick Starr.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. Where's Tom?
No, this is Patrick.
Oh, hey, Patrick, go over there for a second.
Where?
Over there.
Underwear. Ah!
Oh, hey, Tom.
Hi.
How's it going?
Well, someone dragged me onto the show.
Yay! Happy to have you here. We're always happy to have you here. It feels like I haven't seen you in ages. It's been a whole 48 hours.
48 hours, yeah.
Give or take.
I'm not Patrick.
No. And of course, we've got our producer, our showrunner, our founder, the big guy himself.
Patrick?
Patrick, Mr. Christian Basil.
No, I'm not Patrick. Shut up.
I'm Patrick.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. This is the first episode of the new year, so we're really excited about that. My hair is doing some weird stuff, so I have no idea what's going on. It is really just like I need to get a haircut. It's been a while. I work with another headset, and that's probably what's screwing up everything. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS, and thank you for joining us in the new year. All 100,000 of you plus now. And yeah, thank you for just believing in us and taking that moment to hit the subscribe button and watching videos like this one and the shorts and the bits of the TARDIS and all of Simon Fisher-Becker's video blogs and all the stuff that we've got out there. Thank you for joining us. And yeah, today is going to be an interesting episode because we are going to be looking at the future of Who, everything that's happened in the past year in 2025 with Russell T Davies leaving, Ncuti Gatwa leaving, the separation from Mouse Plus. This is going to be an interesting discussion where this series is going to go, if it's going to go anywhere. So yeah, let's see what you guys think about that.
Yeah. But we do have some birthdays happening as well. So that's about the only news we've got. So let's bring in our news segment. Do we want to just call it birthdays, or do we want to do the news intro, Christian?
Let's see what she's got. Let's see if she surprises us for the new year.
All right. Boom.
Oh, wait.
Boom.
I have this.
Ramona, I'm not posting that. I am not posting that, Ramona. It's not happening. I'm going to delete that.
What is it?
No, I'm not telling you.
No, I almost. They were sold out. They were sold out. Just the Who store was sold out on them. I almost got one like this. They were sold out.
Ramona, look what you started.
Yep.
You're fired. Whoever's doing that, you're fired.
I didn't know that was even on the thing. Only mackerel.
Haha.
Really? I'm going to delete that.
I'm serious. The store was sold out. I couldn't get one.
It's probably for the best.
Nah, those are fun and everything.
No.
But yeah, there is no news and everything. Only rumors and stuff. But let's start with some happy birthdays, because some of our birthday wonderfuls are no longer with us as well. Especially our first one, because the godfather, the dad, the patriarch of all Marvel Universe, and our favorite Stan Lee, he would have been, based on if you go with this year, 104 years old. But he really would have turned 103 on December 28, 1922. He was born. And I miss this guy because, like I said, I got to meet him at New York Comic-Con. He was eating and he spotted me and literally was like, oh, guess what? I know your grandfather, basically. So he went to school with some of my great uncles. He lived over here in the Bronx, not that far, on 74th and everything. Grew up just a normal kid that loved sci-fi and everything. And he's a godsend, too, for all dyslexics, because he made his comics also readable for anyone who had a hard time learning how to read, that had dyslexia, because he felt everyone should enjoy some fun. You know, everyone should use their imagination and go wild. And look what it created.
Now, look, before we proceed, that is not Stan Lee.
Yes, I was just going to tell them that.
Stan Lee cosplayer.
That would be Stan Lee. That would be completely awesome, but that is Dan Gruden, and
he's uncanny, like the Uncanny X-Men.
F Cancer, we lost him a couple years ago, so this is an honor tribute to both Stan Lee and Dan.
Yeah,
his actual cosplay page is called hey, he looks like Stan Lee, and he does. He's a spitting image of him. But this is one of my favorite pictures of him all time that I took, where he's surrounded by all the Marvel people, and he's got the TARDIS held up there. So rest in peace, both Stan Lee and Dan. Thank you. This is awesome. But yeah.
And our next lovely lady, she also shares a birthday with Stan on December 28, 1932, is our Nichelle Nichols. And you all know her as Lieutenant Uhura from Star Trek. But she also quests, how do I put it? It's the reason why we have that movie Hidden Figures, because she promoted a lot of people that were hidden in the science, and that they didn't think women would actually STEM research and everything. They didn't think girls needed to be smart, basically. So she said, and she, really nice lady, was happy with everything. She just tells everybody like it was during conventions and everything. Basically, just be you, be smart. Don't let anybody put you down or anything. Like, she wanted to see people succeed, but she really did not want the role in Star Trek. She didn't think it was going to work until Dr. Martin Luther King told her, you know, you're a figure for, you're a trailblazer, and look what she did. She fought for that rights to be in there. She fought for girls to learn math and sciences and everything. Real trailblazer. She would have been 93, 94 years old, depending on which year you want to look at and everything and stuff.
It's amazing how Star Trek and all the members of the team on there, including Nichelle, had influenced people for years to come. I mean, I've always come across somebody, especially being here in Florida and being so close to NASA, you'll run into somebody who said that Star Trek was their influence. You've yet to meet somebody who said Doctor Who was an influence, but I'm not gonna.
Well,
Nichelle has been a big influence to people in life. But
hey, if it wasn't for Sarah Jane, I couldn't prove my point for a 6th grade math class and science class, because that teacher was horrible for me. He kept failing me, even though I had higher grades than the boys.
I need to hurry on this because Raj brought this person in here, and of course, Happy New Year, Candyman. Dick Van Dyke is 100 years old. And once I get a picture of him with the TARDIS when he turns 105, I'll be posting.
Oh no, we're gonna find a way, because isn't he supposed to be at MegaCon or one of the conventions soon or anything? I know he's
that would be great, but
I know he's supposed to be at one convention, but I don't know. I think he's only doing 1 or 2 a year now, and everything. Hopefully,
I totally get it. It's like, dude, I mean, like, but I keep on seeing, if I'm not mistaken, Dave, I keep seeing like articles about him. He wants to play Ebenezer Scrooge or something.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, happy.
Well, he did come full circle in Mary Poppins.
That's true. Happy birthday to both Nichelle and Stan Lee in heaven. So wherever, and I put this picture together. This is actually the last picture of Nichelle that I took with the Traveling TARDIS.
And that's the cutest picture. Everyone loves that one.
Yeah, I actually had one beforehand where she didn't know what to do with the TARDIS, so she almost tried signing the TARDIS, and I had to stop with you and her. But then I brought the TARDIS back to this convention. I think this was like a 5 or 6 year difference. It was Florida SuperCon with the first one, but this one I think was MegaCon, and they brought the Star Trek set, and she stood there, and I brought the TARDIS back, and she remembered it, and she was like all happy to see it, and just like, oh, I remember this. I'm like, oh God, I love you. So. Nichelle, wherever you are, and Stan, wherever you are, I hope
they're watching down on all of us.
Yeah,
watching their legacy grow.
Oh yeah, never. I don't think their legacy will ever end. So who do we have next?
We have now. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's Michael
Cudlitz. Yes,
and everything. He turned 61, or depending on the year. This year he'll be 62, and everything. He was in Southland, The Walking Dead, Redstone. He's actually won a Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Drama. He's married to Rachel. I can't do it. Cudlitz and everything, but he's best known for the winning series Band of Brothers. And right now, I'm just trying to see what he's doing lately, because a lot of the actors, everything's going into production after being on hiatus for a while and everything. Let's see.
He was with the Band of Brothers, and then he did, of course, his nuclear.
Superman and Lois.
Nuclear stardom became The Walking Dead, and then he just did Lex Luthor with Superman and Lois, and that was the last thing I saw him in.
I think he's on hiatus right now and everything, because a lot of the actors have started going on hiatus, and it may be because of certain alleged I've noticed with a lot of things, contract negotiations due to alleged AI and everything. So a lot of stars have been stopping production for a little bit just to renegotiate to make sure that their image is safe, allegedly, and everything. So I love this picture. That's what I was like going to say. I love this picture.
This one, I was shocked that he even pulled it off, because it was just, there was a Negan in front of me who was going to get his picture, and somehow or another, the Negan let me step up and do it. No. Negan was behind me. I'm sorry. Negan was behind me. So I came with this idea with Michael to get a picture of him, and I said, this is the way it should have ended. And he agreed. I was like, okay. So there you go. Happy birthday, Michael Cudlitz. Long live. Who else has got a birthday? We missed a week, and we missed 1 week of a show, and look how many birthdays show up.
Yeah, I know. Especially Lloyd Kaufman, the creator of Toxic Avenger and the screenwriter, producer, and everything. He turns 80 years old. He don't look it. He does not look it.
Toxic Avenger looks like he's 80, but
yeah,
Toxic Avenger now. That's the old Toxie.
He even did Poltergeist. He even did Poltergeist Night of the Chicken Dead. And then he did Tromeo and Juliet. What else he had? Toxic Avenger cartoon series. Return to Nukem High Volume 1. He's really cool guy. He used to come to Comic-Con occasionally and stuff, but lately we haven't really been seeing him much and everything. I think he's staying local, but they were trying to get him again for the revival. I think there's another anniversary coming up for Toxic Avenger or one of the other shows. I'm looking into it right now and everything, but right now I'm looking to see if he has any other events coming up and everything, but doesn't look like it. He's just probably going to be at the next HorrorCon. He does have Human Hibachi 3, The Last Supper from 2025 as the last. He was Uncle Lloyd as the narrator. And he got an uncredited cameo in Superman 2025. That's not bad and everything and stuff. He's going. He's still going. Hope he's the next Dick Van Dyke.
Mark, if you want to come on in, please do so. But he just typed in. So, Candyman, if you want to come into the show, we got a lot to talk about here. But he says the real Band of Brothers was based at the same place where they filmed Doctor Who Demons, in place called Alborn. So there you go.
Who else we got?
We have Tim Matheson, who was in Virginia River, Animal House, Buried Alive, Heart of Dixie, Leave It to Beaver, and Sometimes They Come Back. His career, he started as a teenager, but he's also, if most people don't realize, was the original voice of Johnny Quest in the 1960s animated series, and he turned 78 years old. I'm just making sure on other things that he's got coming up, because he's also one of those that nonstop working. He's been on podcasts and everything. I'm just checking one spot because I think he had a movie coming up and everything. Nope, that's the last movie he did was The River. I know he had a TV series at one time.
He's a Hugh Laurie effect too. He's like in every movie, but nobody recognizes
right.
him. Except that he was in Animal House. But Dave, when I met him over here, I think it was Spooky Empire. I said, I want to geek out with something with you I know nobody talks about. If anybody remembers an attraction at Epcot called Body Wars. And he was in that attraction ride movie, which was a motion-based simulator. He was the star of Body Wars. And not only that, his face just lit up and it said, "Yeah, did you know it was directed by Leonard Nimoy?" I said, "Yes, I know. I grew up Body Wars down here, and it was for about a brief moment. It was one of my favorite attractions here at Epcot. I mean, I always go to Epcot, and that was the first ride I would go on. He was just so happy. He was like, "You want to talk about Body Wars?" I said, "Damn, I love it. Yeah, it's a short little ride, but it was cool for what it was worth." So yeah, Tim Matheson for Animal House and my favorite, Body Wars now.
I'm just checking something real quick because I have a funny feeling I might have worked with him when I was acting here in the city, and I know might. Let's see. I'm trying to think of the name of it because it's under another name. That's why I'm looking at the thing right now and stuff. It's like hysterical because it was a funeral scene we did in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out if I still have it. There was the introduction of Lily Rose, the print. It might be under the Prince. It might be the Prince or the Traveler. Was the TV? Let's see. I'm trying to remember if actually, it was the Prince. It was a WB TV spot. I think he was in, but I'm trying to see if they have it under another name and everything because he was on the altar with headphones in his ear, and I'm looking like I know this guy and everything and stuff.
Like I said, he's one of those that's been like in everything, every
TV
show, every movie, and it's just like.
That's why I should have looked that up before because I said, "Wait a minute, I think I've worked with him and everything." It was a pilot. Yeah.
Well, while Gadget is looking that up, I just want to let people know that we survived the 25 days of Christmas, and if you don't want the holidays to end, we have pictures, videos up on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page of exciting, including moments from the Macy's holiday parade over at Universal Studios, and especially if you want to see the tribute that we did with Simon for a very merry Simon Becker Christmas special. Simon Fisher-Becker. Wow, I couldn't even get it right. Simon Fisher-Becker Christmas special, and Phantasmagoria does a little tribute to him. That we lost Simon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Dave. I think it was last March.
Yeah.
We lost Simon, and he was a big part of the crew. And plus, as we enter 2026, I want to see the terms and conditions of this damn thing. So I know Mark Muncie. I went over to Epcot the other day, and he said there was a hidden Mickey, and one of the girls wanted to express it's a hidden Mickey TARDIS, and somebody had mentioned it to me.
You're kidding?
Epcot. But Mark Muncie, our friend from Erie, Florida, he says that it was been there since day one. And I was like, I've never seen it. So here is the hidden TARDIS at Epcot if you go to the toy store in the back. And according to Mark Muncie, it's been sitting there since day one. I'm like, really? So
that is so cute.
Well hidden.
Yeah, tiny little TARDIS. And this store, for a while, this was even before the Disney Plus thing had Doctor Who merchandise. At its peak, there was whole shelves of Doctor Who merchandise. The only thing that ticked me off, they didn't have TARDISes or sonic screwdrivers. It was mainly like shirts and keychains and stuff like that. But I was like, no Sonics? So anyway, happy birthday, Tim Matherson. Who else we got there? Gadget.
We have Terry Malloy, our favorite Davos, as well as host of many BBC programs and shows and everything, and books like what if I can say this right, Montessori Montgomery Bear, the bear with the ginormous heart. He turned 79 years old today. And you guys are all like close friends with him, I heard, right? And everything.
And I think the first year, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Dave was on yet, but when we finally went from audio to visual episodes, I think Terry was one of the first people we interviewed. So yeah, and he's been in Florida beforehand. This is Terry just being evil out with the TARDIS. He insisted that he put the TARDIS on his head. So there you go. And Terry, if I'm not mistaken, Terry and I think Colin Baker did a Sherlock Holmes stage play just recently. If anybody wants to correct me on that, but I think they got together and they did Sherlock Holmes, where Colin was Sherlock Holmes and I believe Terry was Dr. Watson.
They must have shelved this pilot because it literally cannot be found.
There we go. And who else we got a birthday with?
And our last one has also passed away. Back in 2023 was Julia. I can never pronounce it right.
You're fine.
How do you say it for a guy?
Julian Sands.
Julian Sands.
I think it's unisex. I think Julian can go either way, if I'm not mistaken. But
his breakout role was in A Room with a View. He basically was in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The Medallion. That's where I remember him from and everything. And he was in Warlock and Warlock the Armageddon, Rose Red. He is basically your sci-fi and comedy go-to sometimes and everything in all movies and stuff. But it was sad to see him go at an early age of he would have been 68 years old.
It's not just that he passed; it's the way he passed. He went on, Tom. He went on, he went in the mountains or something like that, and he disappeared for a while. Yeah, he went in the mountains and just disappeared, and then next thing you know, it was just like they're finding his body. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they don't know. The only thing that they speculated was he's either slipped or allegedly something happened, but you never know. That's why you always have to be prepared if anything happens or anything. You always have to just take every day like it's like a blessing and stuff, because you never know.
He was also in Smallville as he was also making Smallville. So
yeah, it's crazy. It's just too many. We lost too many good people and everything, but at the same time, the other people that are still around, start being kind, start letting your fans, don't be scared of your fans, because some people now are getting scared of their fans because of what other fans have done and everything and stuff. So it's a catch-22 plus this alleged AI thing and all this other stuff. It's all turmoil now. Nobody knows what to do in the world. I know you got to put allegedly because we don't know what's going to happen, because right now you saw the alleged AI of Rose and the Christmas special that never started yet. We don't know. There's all rumors going around. And now with this new program allegedly on what starts with a G and everything that's been altering things, don't take everything at face value. Please do your homework and research on even your stars, because the same thing, they could be alive and something could happen, and someone could say, oh, they have all the programming done, pictures and everything, and it turns out they're not.
Allegedly. We need that soundbite, Tom. Allegedly.
I'll get him to record it. Ow.
Now, for those of you who are curious, there have been a lot of Jesus. I love my hair. I combed it. I don't know what's going on.
You're good. I'm a mess. You're good.
Anyway, of course, anybody, any Whovian who's not been under any Whovian's not been under a rock We've seen a lot of changes in 2025. The departure of RTD from the position, or at least we think it is. Possibly he regenerated, the regeneration of Ncuti Gatwa's doctor. Also the departure from Disney Plus, which they only did the 2-year run with the 60th anniversary, and that was it. So a question came up is our first episode of The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS will be the future of Who. After everything that has happened to Doctor Who in 2025, does Doctor Who have a future? And this is the rating that we came out with, Candyman. 49% say yes, it still has a future. 20% say no. And this is the one that kind of gets me. 31% say it's hard to say at the moment, which I think is more accurate. I thought that number would be higher because it is hard to say with everything that's going on. So, okay, whatever. So
let's drag it in.
There you go. So let's go ahead and end the Who Knew News, and we'll get to our topic. Let's see here.
Yeah, even have Marvel on there too.
Oh, I don't have the. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it actually has Marvel on the tag.
Yeah,
it's one of those pop-ups from Japan.
So before we get into everything, do we want to go do a quick commercial break?
We can do that. Yeah,
commercial break, and when we come back, everybody put your thoughts on the future of Who into the comments, and we'll go from there.
Exactly. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. For those of you who are joining us on the X or Facebook or YouTube, and now we're also on Rumble and Kick and Twitch. Wherever you're finding us, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We're going to go on a commercial break. When we return, we're going to be talking about the future of Doctor Who. We want your opinions, your takes in the chats, and we will be right back.
I didn't listen to that voicemail. I'll tear open that letter you sent. Don't you tell your friends I want you back. I gotta leave you now unread, because you've already said those words that switched my heart to dead from loving you. So you'll stay ghosted and I'll stay focused on sewing clothes. The spell stays unspoken, a dark silhouette of a mark man, and I'm broken. Right down, I didn't listen to that voicemail, or TikTok that story you sent. Don't you reel me in to get me back. I'm gonna leave you now.
Are you tired of toxic fandoms? Do you wish we could go back to being happy? So do we. We created the Happiness Patrol to get away from all of the toxicity in fandoms, in life, and so we decided we wanted to do a show about something that makes us happy. And in the first season, that something is Star Wars. So join myself, Cameron, Scott, Jessica, and Melanie on Happiness Patrol at youtube.com/@happinesspatrolshow.
I'm author Mark Muncy.
And I'm author Erica Lance.
And this is Eerie Travels.
Greetings, travelers. Join us as we travel through folklore, myths, monsters, legends, and dark history.
Now, we'll be your guide to the spooky side of reality as we discuss cryptids, paranormal, and all things preternatural.
Sometimes we find the truth is way scarier than fiction.
We're on twice a week on your favorite podcast platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and YouTube.
We have amazing guests from all of the areas of the strange and unusual, including witnesses, investigators, and more.
Yeah, with Erica's curiosity and ridiculous array of pop culture and true crime knowledge.
And Mark's decades of experience diving into folklore and the legends, with the truth that's behind them.
Yeah. So join us, travelers, as we take you to the edge of reality, and we'll see you on the other side.
So what's your favorite Western? Is it this one or maybe one of these? Is it a revisionist Western, an anti-Western, or maybe it's an all-time classic? Whether your favorite Western is in black and white, vibrant Technicolor, a spaghetti Western, a neo-Western, a comedy, or maybe it's only really Western in spirit. Whatever it is, this is the podcast dedicated to determining the top 100 Westerns of all time. Every second Monday on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. It's Horses on Film.
Hello, I'm Nick Briggs, and you're listening to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. I say Traveling Time Lord.
Do it again. Just do it again. Just for the
Okay.
just for the sake. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
Hello, I'm Nicholas Briggs, and this is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Legend of the Traveling Time Lords. Wait, no, Traveling TARDIS.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing. We're all traveling. We're all Time Lords. We're all stuck in a TARDIS. Yeah.
Yeah. Candyman.
Oh, it is true.
Candyman.
Yeah, I'm here.
Candyman.
There you
Yeah,
go.
welcome to Candyman.
Yeah, it is minus 10 degrees centigrade, which is about 14 Fahrenheit. So
Oh, that's September for you.
It's freezing. For Dave, it's like shirt and t-shirt weather, but
Yeah,
for
pretty
us, when it's minus anything when it hits snow, the whole UK comes to a stop. But yeah, I'm doing well. Trying to get this sorted out. But yeah, the future of Doctor Who. It's going to be interesting. It all depends on who's going to be the showrunner. Is Russell T Davies still going to be the showrunner? We don't know. If he gets paid enough money from BBC, I think he probably will do. I would like to see Pete McTighe doing it. He did some really good episodes in the Land of the War and Sea. He knows how to write drama, and he also does a lot of the stuff on the Doctor Who Blu-ray collection sets. Oh, you guys don't know that. I think it's going to be interesting for the next couple of years. I think whether or not Rose is going to be the next Doctor, is Rose going to be the moment? Who knows? I just want to see and find out what's going on. We've already been to this sort of situation before with Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy. And even though that in the Wilderness years, there wasn't any official Doctor Who, they were still put in reruns, doing anniversaries. I think the 40th anniversary was technically in the Wilderness years. And I don't think Doctor Who will die. It's too much of British institutions. I think it'll go on a break, maybe for a long time. Whether or not it'll be the same amount of time that it did beforehand, who knows? But I think it won't die. I think Doctor Who will come back at some point. I think Roger just put something on it. He's saying that he's not looking forward to the CBBS animated spin-off.
I was just looking at that. I'm serious. I was just pulling that up. You don't understand. I literally was just pulling that up on my phone. Right there.
I haven't even seen any announcements. I haven't seen anything.
Okay, who's spying on my
I've heard
phone?
about it, but I'm just like,
They're saying 2027.
Yeah, they've selected an animation studio for it.
Yeah, 2027.
So it's coming. It's for sure.
Who's
No, I believe
sneaking
it's
my
coming,
phone?
but it's kind of like the war between the land and the sea. It was just like, oh, that's coming, and I'm like, all the folks that I've known, all the folks I've been known and talking about didn't even know that was coming, and it said, well, it'll eventually make its way to Disney Plus. We hope. I mean, it's been pushed back again, so God only knows what's
I
going on.
did send you the pictures of what it looked like, him in the TARDIS. I know I sent that a while ago.
No,
I
I've
mean,
seen-
that's again just preview stuff.
Right, that's just the stock
They
footage they
didn't
sent me.
even have the animation studio booked at that point. So there's no any. It could be any doctor. It could be any doctors.
Some people are wanting it to be like those little people things, like the from Fisher Price. Some people want those animated and stuff like that. Like people are mixed on this, but they're saying 2027. And I was just, like I said, I was just doing that.
And it's something like 52 episodes. It's enough to get into American syndication. So we're gonna have more of this preschooler age Doctor Who than we did of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. CBBS is preschool, it's kindergarten. So
we shouldn't be looking forward to it unless we have kids.
But they did say that about Peppa Pig and Bluey, that was supposed to be for kids, and meanwhile you got adults having birthday parties with it.
Maybe they should do a Campbellwick Green version. You guys probably don't. Have you ever had a Campbellwick Green or?
Why does it sound familiar?
Enlighten us on that, just for
like
people who may not know.
The stop clock animation back in the 70s.
Oh,
like the Harry Houseman, like.
It's hard to explain.
Oh no! I know what you're talking about. I know what
like
you're talking about.
Corpse Bride and all the other stuff, right?
They did in Life on Mars. They did a clip of one with Campbellwick Green where we've got the music box and the little person comes up from the music box. I'll see if I can find it. It's a classic.
Yeah.
I got cold in here, guys.
There's definitely going to be some kind of a North American analog to it, but that would be interesting for sure.
Well, I guess the question is, Mark, did you say you don't think Billy? Well, let me ask around there, starting with Dave. Dave, do you think Billy is going to be the next Doctor?
Definitely not. Okay. She was not introduced as the Doctor. I think Billie Piper is going to be some version of Rose.
Gotcha. Tom,
possibly Bad Wolf, possibly just Rose.
Do you think she is the next Doctor?
No.
Tom.
Sorry. I was reading at the same time.
No, that's okay. Tom.
I wasn't reading it at all. But Ncuti regenerated into Billy.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, Rose looked into the TARDIS. The TARDIS looked back at her. So using the energy from the TARDIS into Ncuti's Doctor, this is what happened. So no matter what, she is essentially the next Doctor. And unless they go with the speculations of going back to Jodie's time and erasing things because people are so fickle about things, so it would be thereby erasing some part of Jodie's time, probably the Timeless Child, the whole flux, and erasing Ncuti, so erasing all the Disney Plus situation to have from Jodie to a new Doctor. But I watched a video yesterday about when Chris was asked to come back for the 50th anniversary. I was like, oh yeah, I'll listen, very, very polite. Stephen was talking about very polite about everything, but he just in the back of his mind say, I don't think so. And it was the 11th hours when they said, let's bring in John Hurt. And it's like, everything changed. So all the numbers changed.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to not say the Doctor, it puts the whole, well, it's about, no, it's when she looks into the TARDIS and TARDIS looks back at her, Rose's energy went back, into Rose, back into the TARDIS. So she's in it. She is now part of being a Time Lord. It's just accept it. Whether it's going to be, like I said, a whole changing of history as that one story. It was a nice story. I liked the idea. We don't know. We'll never know. We shouldn't know. We can speculate all we want, have these ideas of this and that, but it's up to whoever is in charge to make it happen. Like watching Chibnall just completely destroying Gallifrey as we brought it back. So for the anniversary, it's like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to destroy it again. Like there's nothing.
I want to address this if you're done, Tom.
Dress? What?
The comment here from David. I would 110% turn it on for my toddler. It's meant for toddlers. There are dozens upon dozens upon dozens of television shows specifically designed for toddlers. There's an entire market for that. It doesn't have to be, everything doesn't have to be for you and me. Am I going to sit down and watch it? Probably.
Yes.
But yeah, just out of
We'll
curiosity.
He won't admit he's a big kid. He won't admit it.
Do I expect to like it and be all, oh my God, this is the best Doctor? No. Am I going to even watch it and go, this is going to be Doctor Who? No. I'm going to be watching it in the context of this is geared towards toddlers. And if it also is entertaining for adults, hey, cool. It's for fans who have kids specifically.
And the jokes will go over the kids' heads to the adults.
Hopefully.
See, they also did on the cartoons as well on the 10th Doctor, which was the CBeebies, which is a children's BBC. So how we had it was CBeebies is preschool, CBeebies is children's, which is between like school ages to probably about 16. So I think they released about 3 cartoons. I think one of them was Doctor Who in Dreamland. I can't remember what the other one was called. Have you seen those cartoons?
I need to bring in my Christmas presents because one of them somebody got me. My brother-in-law got me all of the Doctor Who animated, which includes Dreamland, which includes
Scream and Shulker.
Scream and Shulker. Yeah, it's a 5 cartoon series, and I see where David's coming from on this because I could say a little bit of the argument that Sarah Jane Adventures was meant for. It was meant for a younger, like preteen audience, and I still watched it and enjoyed most of it. But I also see the skepticism of David and just like, okay, what are we doing this? Because when I grew up Doctor Who, I think I see his point just a little bit, because when I grew up Doctor Who, I always thought it was more of the cerebral thing, because when I grew up with it, I was a young kid. And Doctor Who I didn't think it was meant for me. I mean, it was really more cerebral. It was more intelligent. It wasn't just, we play for slapstick and I think it was a lot more. What's the word I'm looking for, Mark? You know what I'm saying? It wasn't kids who were just a little bit smarter. I'm not downing, kids, but I always thought it was a show that talked up to kids. Like, I'm going to make you smarter. It's just like, I'm going to say a word and you're going to look at it, And
there's nothing saying this won't do that too. Just starting at a baseline of toddler rather than a baseline of young adult.
Oh, this is interesting. What you go down a rabbit hole to find.
But also, the other thing I want to address with Dave's comment is if you're trying to get new fans, just knock my earpiece out. If you're trying to get new fans, where's the best place to aim it for? Because no offense, us oldies, we're going to be not going to be here for another 20, 30, 40 years. We may be still here. If not, we need to get new blood in. And how do you get new blood in? Start them when they're young.
Vampire.
Yeah, exactly. That's the
didn't My Little Pony have David Tennant on there anyway?
I don't know.
I think David is referring to the content because David also follows up and says, yes, you guys are the hardcore. The show can't survive with all the fans, and some can't survive with all some of the fans.
And that's what this is aimed at, is the normies. That's literally the point, is to bring in the normies.
I really got to see it. I meant there's some things.
There's been different regenerations on My Little Pony. It's called Doctor Who's.
Well, I think Dave also, there's that awareness of like when it comes to like Paramount and Star Trek, all these series like Prodigy and what was it, the Lower Decks and all that. Some people don't like Lower Decks because what's that?
So I actually enjoyed Prodigy. Believe it.
No, I meant like they were the animated series. I'm not downing them, but I meant like people didn't like Lower Decks because they felt that Star Trek again, like Doctor Who was more cerebral, it was more serious and stuff like that. And then they made, you know, a Morty and a Morty version of Star Trek.
Oh, totally.
And then there's Prodigy, which is kind of like to me was for older teens, like either preteen and older teen, trying to attract them into it. I see where they're going. I see David's point, and it's, you know, I to me, it's just I need to see it before I can make my judgment. Again, like something like Sarah Jane Adventures, that was made for kids, but I think for some people it was the gateway in to what they would eventually see Doctor Who. There were people who started with Torchwood, never even knew about Doctor Who.
That was my mother, yeah.
Yeah, there were people who started, and I know these people, I met them out there. They started with Torchwood, and it brought them over to Doctor Who, and just like, oh, I didn't know this show was a part of it. But yeah.
Yeah, it's just David just responded, and 100%. It is a family heirloom.
Yes, and that's and he says they're always passed down from parent to child. Again, literally, what this is doing, it is meant for kids. It is meant to be handed for the parent to go click TV, and there's Doctor Who that is age appropriate.
Not TV, phone.
That is literally the point.
Or the microchip we're going to shove in our head, and we're going to be able to, you know.
I mean, that's also a thing.
Wherever we're going with this out there. Yeah, Star Trek did the same thing. So,
yeah.
But I meant normies and diehards. I meant like they're saying, you know, to me, David, it's that line from Star Trek Undiscovered Country where Kirk goes, you know, some people can be frightened of change. And that's, you know, I think what they want to do is pass down what made them get into Doctor Who. It's the same thing with like Disney. I mean, like some people don't like the change that they're doing right now to the Rivers of America because their kids are not going to see that. Kids are not going to experience it, what they grew up with. And I think that, you know, like you said, it's an heirloom. So I think it's, you know, I right or wrong. I mean, like it's happening. We just move on, and hopefully things just pan out proper. That's all, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a little soft, plushy Dalek cuddly toy?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Starfleet Academy as well. It's going to be.
What if the Dugadoos are on there?
No.
Shut up.
Me and Dave are like, ooh.
Never, ever. Never.
Not me.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. It's now over.
I'm serious. What if they do that? That would be interesting.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. Like follow the bouncing.
Someone came up with the greatest crossover, and it's not the first. I just saw it recently, but it has been going through people's fan fictions since before Picard. Is how Will Wheaton just kind of walked through the background of as a traveler, you know, the Star Trek equivalent to the Doctor, walk through a scene, just a cameo, not even a named cameo, just there.
And everyone's like,
and see
Mark,
what
didn't something like that happen on Blake 7? I gotta check that out. But like, didn't the Doctor walk like behind? Like, wasn't there a scene where the Doctor?
No, I know Colin Baker was in it, but he was actually as a actor.
Yeah.
But I didn't see anything like that.
Something the Butcher. I couldn't remember. Yeah, he was in it, and everybody always shows him with the gun that he was sitting on.
Yeah.
Yep.
But spoiler. Yeah. Spoiler alerts.
Gadget, real fast.
Getting back to what you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, getting back to what you asked a question about what I think Rose is. Yes. I don't think she's for Rose is the Doctor. I think she's for moment. I think the moment or the heart of the TARDIS. You know, the TARDIS has a heart and a soul.
Yeah.
I think that the regeneration is part of the TARDIS. Because remember, if you look back at it, you got the flux, which changed the universe, but we also got Matt Smith blowing up the TARDIS, which also changed the timeline. So we don't know which timeline we're in anymore.
You don't know which dimension.
No. We could be
Remember,
in
you also offshoot it by 1 so he can get Poppy back. So what if she's a different rose? Poppies and roses.
So I want to wait and see what
Just on Tom's face.
Poppies and roses.
Poppies and roses.
But I'm talking about even Matt Smith era when he blew up the
Mm-hmm.
TARDIS and reset everything because everything was
And the Pandorica.
Yeah.
Everything is
But
reset.
the universe was rebooted, but it kind of stayed the same. I mean, it was just
one thing off.
Or did it?
Mhm.
Mavity.
Oh yeah, they still haven't. Did they ever go back to Gravity or Mavity?
Still Mavity.
That's another
Still
thing I
Mavity.
don't want to hear.
I'm not making that banner.
That's why I said the next season that comes out is probably going to be. It was all a dream.
Yes,
it was
please.
all a dream.
That and Bugaboo
Almost
can
did.
go into a black hole and never be seen again.
He
Take your Mavity.
What was that, Kristen?
What's that?
What was
said, I
that?
know. He said, but he said,
Shut it. I have buttons too. Read between the lines.
What do
What
you
if we
think,
actually
Gadget?
do a really long version for the show?
Gadget, is Billy Piper the Doctor? Yes or no? Real quick.
I don't think so. I think it's an offshoot. Like I said, he had to save Poppy, but he got a rose instead. Because you don't know. Because she could be the moment, but we don't have John Hurt and anything to do the scene and everything and stuff because he called her Bad Wolf Girl. She's also tied to Wednesday, so she's not going to be doing a lot of, you know what I mean? That's why production is a little off right now. Plus she's got to dye her hair blonde back unless they put her wig like they did with Jodie and everything and stuff. But it's up to you guys because I still think it's alternate universes. All this, it's basically, I think the what is it? The Trickster or whatever, everybody, whoever is all in play right now. I think the game is still going on. I think it's still a game.
I kind of hope it is still a game, quite frankly.
That's why I said it's going to be the Christmas special. They do whatever they have to do, and then all of a sudden, Jodie wakes up.
And I doubt that'll happen. That would be ridiculous.
Or she regenerates into Ncuti, and Ncuti wakes up and is like, what the hell did I just relive? Because I still said it. Those 2 seasons of Doctor Who for him were just a hashtag of Martha and Tennant reliving what they did in a different version. Because the plot lines were all still the same, just different ways of showing it with different generations.
What does anyone actually know what happened to the moment?
No.
She just disappeared. She disappeared when all 3 TARDISes went.
Right. No, she was the graphic user interface of the moment.
Right.
But the actual weapon, the moment.
It's still buried on Gallifrey, so it might have got destroyed.
No, it wasn't. Was it in Gallifrey? Was it in a barn? Did they take it with them?
No, they didn't take it. Unless it's in the museum with the curator, which means Tennant went back and got it. Because he always pops up everywhere.
Well, he did leave it in the barn, which is nice to have the ultimate weapon in the universe. I just left it in the barn on the way out.
I'll go back in 100 years, 1,000 years, 2,000 years and get, because you got to remember, Capaldi's doctor's what, over 2 million years old?
4.5 billion, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 4.5 billion.
Jesus.
So that's what I'm saying. And I always said the doctors were out of order whenever I would watch it because it didn't feel right. They didn't feel like it was in the right order. I ignored the time frame that they were made in, but if you look at the way the order was and everything, there were things that would have been at different times. You know what I mean? So I was just like, they're in the wrong order.
Yeah, maybe. Anything's possible.
I mean, I have a couple of friends.
Thank you, Debbie Gibson.
Who said that they're hoping Capaldi still has the dream crab on his head from last Christmas. This is like
he wasn't going to come back too.
We
he
just
said
pretend that all of that didn't happen. Oh yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people said they wouldn't come back or wouldn't revisit the show, but here we are. Tom Baker, who was just like, he was done with the role, and he would only come back if, like, what was it, that one episode? I can't think of the name, Mark, but yeah, he was wanting to do a movie with the other doctors, but he was going to be like the primary. Everything was going to be the focus around him. The other guys going, yeah, whatever. So but he's done big finish
on the next. You know what? They should have taken him and put him as one of the producers for the next one. Let him be the showrunner. That'll be like the homage, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him be the showrunner. He's got.
I guess the guy's question is, what do you think of? Oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was going to say, all I'm hoping for that we do not get Doctor Who in Distress Mark II.
Oh, I have that song.
Do you know that song, Christian?
Yes, I have it. Where do I have it still here? Wait, hold on. Where is it?
I'm still a little bit taken aback by, because Doctor in the TARDIS has that Gary who relationship, and it's just like, but it's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's just like, I love that song. The Time Lord's.
Where is it?
But now it's related to that, and just like, oh.
I also have a Dalek for Christmas.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, everybody, and especially in the chats, if you haven't put your
I have the Goblin song.
Think is the future of Doctor Who right now, because again, 2025 brought a really weird instant. I remember when there were certain podcasters who
had it
generate out of this last season, and surely enough, he did, and people were skeptical because Russell T didn't just leave Doctor Who; he kind of left when he was being interviewed. He was like, "Well, maybe the show needs a rest." I'm like. Don't say that unless you know something we don't. So just it's just weird under the circumstances that Doctor Who, and especially after Doctor Who left Disney Plus.
Yeah, there's always a twist.
There's these couple of people. I forgot who said it, Mark, but somebody said it was only supposed to run for 2 years, and I'm like, you're not convincing me on that at all. There's no way in hell you're convincing me. I think when they were bringing in, you don't bring in Disney Plus and Disney unless you're doing something similar to what Jim Henson did with the Muppets. He saw the future. He knew it was going to be Disney, so he sent the.
Speaking of the Muppets, Disney. They're coming in February.
Oh, okay. But if you're convincing me it was only supposed to run 2 years and that was it, I'm like, who you gaslighting? No, I'm sorry. That's not true. That's not true. It didn't work out. Some things.
I think it was more do with someone getting into power and then they realizing that they have to change the whole market.
Possibly, but I would just think it was bad writing. It's like they didn't know what to do at that point. Dave, what's your opinion?
I think they tried something. I think they tried something new and didn't fly as well as they would have liked. As far as that goes, I'm very looking forward to seeing where it does land, because it's going to have to be people. I've seen a lot of comments saying BBC America, bring it back to BBC America. It's not going to BBC America, people. The rest of the planet does not have BBC America, and they're going to be looking for a worldwide distributor, just like Disney Plus was. That was the point of that.
I tell you what would be. I know it sounds really bad, but I think what would be good for them is, I'm not sure if you remember this Viking show called The Last Kingdom.
I remember it existing.
Which was originally BBC. But they only made 2 seasons of it. And then it got brought out by another company called Netflix. And they literally, the last 3 seasons of it was absolutely amazing because they put all the money into it. The problem is, with a franchise like Doctor Who, you can't stop it. It's on its own little engine, basically, however slow it may be. So the problem is if you do cater it with Netflix or Disney, what's going to happen is the problem what we got with Grace from the movie. That's technically Fox.
Yeah.
It's canon now because Disney bought Fox.
Yeah, but Doctor Who's no longer part of Disney.
I have to talk to my cousin because they threw out a bunch of VHS copies of that when he worked for
where if it goes to another streaming platform or another company, are we going to have like? I'm okay because I'm in the UK and we'll just still be on BBC, but are we going to get some episodes on HBO, some episodes on Disney?
They're still playing on Disney. The recent ones are still playing on Disney Plus.
Yes, and they will for the foreseeable future. I think what's going to happen is similar to what happened with the Netflix Defenders stuff.
Right.
Is there was after 3 years of them not producing anything, those rights reverted back.
Right.
And that could also be part of why they're allegedly pushing it back,
or
putting it, just not announcing when it's coming out. War Between the Land and the Sea, because that's still part of that contract. Once the clock doesn't start ticking until that goes on. So it eventually it will come off of Disney Plus and go on to wherever the rest of the stuff is.
Pluto TV has it. I think some of the Tubi has it as like a on-demand channel and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything.
As far as official sources go, now Shar had a question there. Who's seen War Between the Land and the Sea?
Yeah.
A couple of us have. Through. Yeah,
you might have lost me when I saw something.
Legally and officially, Mark has seen it.
Yeah.
Legally and officially.
But they've
yeah.
sent us little previews on certain pages and everything, and one of those I don't like, and I don't like that the fact of I understand food, but I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. But some people might not like a certain episode because they had to show that little clip to people after the series ended. I would have been fine if I didn't have to see that clip.
And it fit the.
I understand.
But yeah, no, I love the series. I think now I liked Ncuti Gatwa. I liked what we got. Was it perfect? No. But I'm a fan of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor and what he did. But I'll be damned if I don't wish we hadn't gotten what we got with War of the Land and the Sea out of Ncuti. I would love that. I think we would not even be having this conversation.
And these are the same people who wrote the same thing, right?
The same thing.
That's what got me messed up. Like, what the hell?
Ncuti, RGG wrote for both of them. It was just a matter of they wanted something different for Ncuti's Doctor, and like I said, it didn't fly. Whereas War Between the Land and the Sea felt very much more like the Tennant Smith years, in my opinion.
So here's a question.
Go ahead.
Here's a question for you. If you were the showrunner, what elements would you want in your Doctor Who?
I think I liked the humor and the light tone of Ncuti, but obviously the more serious aspects of War Between the Land and the Sea were what brought it in. It was a more serious show, which I think is where that sweet spot is in the populace right now.
So you think he thought that the other one wasn't meant for like a serious audience? He was just trying to poke fun at?
No, it's totally meant for a serious audience. It was meant to have a lighter tone. It was meant to be a little more accessible to the younger crowd, which it was, and the stats showed that it did very well with those younger audiences, which is what the BBC and this was public knowledge. The BBC gave him a mandate of we want this young,
they wanted to pull in Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Yeah, that was the BBC. That was corporate. That was Disney. That was BBC when they hired RTD. Gave him the mandate to bring in a show for those younger generations to try and bring in the new fans.
But even I understand what you're saying there, Dave, but even my nephew who's been on this show a couple of times, who is Gen Alpha, didn't like it.
And that's what I said. I'm not saying it succeeded.
No.
It did. I mean, the numbers show that it did fairly well in those demographics. Did it work entirely perfectly? No. I know there were people who saw those first few episodes and went, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And I come from a family that's half teachers, and their students were all talking about Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it kind of just faded off.
I also think they did themselves in with the time that they put it on too here in the States.
Well, I mean, they prioritized the States for a lot.
Yeah, but 3 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the no.
Streaming. It's whatever time you want.
Mm-hmm. So, Tom, if you was a showrunner, what would you basically do?
He would have the doctor sitting there.
We only have a certain amount of time here. We'll get back to Tom.
Yeah.
What about you, Christian?
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Where?
God only knows. Oh, he's over here.
More Dugadoo.
I like some people have said some people have the feeling that they've left Doctor Who and they're not coming back, and it's just like it's disheveled now. It's not the same as it was beforehand. And I think one of the things I would get back to is that I kind of feel that I want to get back to the Russell T of 2005, if that makes absolute sense. Not the Russell T of 2025. I don't want to talk down to kids. I want them to be leveled up like I was feeling when I started watching Doctor Who. I think it's more, I found it more, it wasn't consumable, if that makes sense. I just could not consume what was going on. There were sometimes, I'm at the first episode, the 60th, when I started to shut down because when I saw Rose and Donna take task on the 14th Doctor, I literally shouted at them. I was like, you girls have no idea. And Donna, you know better than to yell at this guy. And it just kept going worse and worse and worse the more that they moved. And I feel like it was a vanity project. Then RTD, you are actually doing this for fans. You can bring in some items that are progressive, like you did with Captain Jack Harkness, which was wonderful. It turned out great. And you can do this without people feeling like utter crap. I would constrain. I don't know when this happened. This has happened with a lot of genres, like Star Trek and Star Wars, where if people are feeling, I never understood the idea of a talent going after the fans. I'm like, even if the fans didn't like what you were doing, the first time when I heard Jodie do the mean tweets, I'm like, I know that was a cool thing and it was a thing of its time, but it's just like, why are you doing this? I thought you were better than this, Jodie. Why are you going down to the level of the people who you are antagonizing, becoming the thing that you are trying to antagonize? And the same thing with Ncuti when he was telling people to touch grass, or Millie who told people, just shut up and watch it. I'm just like, no, you don't tell me what to do. So I would clamp down on the talent and say, listen, talk to these people, get them involved, become salespeople. If they don't like what they see, don't go over there and push them out the door. Try to tell them, hey, we're doing something a little different, and we invite you to come in and want you to try something. It was just weird to see Ncuti in an interview said Doctor Who's for everybody, but then in the next breath go, okay, here are the people that it's not for. So that's got to stop. As a showrunner, I would tell the talent, you know what, talk to these people. Go on the convention circuit. I would take them out like they did with Capaldi and with Peter Capaldi. I would take him out and let people get to know them. Especially Chris Chibnall. One of my biggest things was that when conventions started to slow down, when things started to slow down with Doctor Who, send Jodie out on a tour. Let people get to know her. Let people get to respect her. And maybe, people who are skeptical, the ones that are sitting on the razor's edge going like, I don't know about the first female Doctor, or I don't know about this Jodie character. Let her personality shine. Let them get to ask questions to her. And maybe they'll turn around and go, you know what, let's give it a shot. I don't know where this idea of attacking fans ever came. This is going across all genres. It's going across Star Trek. It's going across Star Wars, where the talent is just going after the fans. I'm like, fans are going to do what fans do. You guys are portraits on a.
I'm gonna give you a heads up on that because I deal with the talent down in the conventions and stuff. There is a difference. They're not trained. They don't train them in candor. They don't train them in.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They don't train the new generation. The older generation was trained on how to deal with public relations, and I sit there every time looking at some of these actors and everything, and I love some of them to death, especially in the anime world. But some of them have an attitude of like nose up in the air. I'm not dealing with the public. Just let the handlers handle it. And I'm very upset with some of them because you can see the difference from 20 years ago versus today of some of these people thinking that they don't realize the fans are the reasons we are here. That's why we're at 104, 105 because of the fans. We don't dumb them down. We don't treat them like they're nobodies or anything. We try to give you the best information we can, and we bring you in on the journey. These people here today are not trained in public relations. They don't have a PR person on their team. It's just a handler and then someone that says they're too overwhelmed. And then they got these nasty handlers because I had 2 versions of it at Anime NYC. And especially, I'll give you a good one. Zeno's handler, beautiful as anything and all that stuff and everything. He plays Hawks. He does everything and stuff. Alejandro's handler, I couldn't even deal with it. And everything. They don't know public relations. And I am literally sitting here going like somebody, because that's how they let certain fans get away with things and other fans not get away with things and stuff, especially the stalking fans. That's another thing I think they're also worried about. They're not trained in how to deal with a stalking fan. There is a way, because I've seen it with BBC. I've seen it with everybody else. That's the problem with this generation of stars and everything. They're not trained. And if they were actually trained in how to deal, we wouldn't have the double standard answer Ncuti gave on that show. We wouldn't have them say like bullying us, because that is bullying what they did, those 2. That's why I'm not happy with. And I've been friends long with Ncuti because of another person that I've been friends with and everything in the industry. And I was very upset when I heard that, because that was not like him prior to Doctor Who. He was very open, very whatever and stuff. And I don't know if it's the show pushing him to do that or if it was something, but nobody is trained in public relations.
I don't think you need even training. I think you just need to. Why are
common
you doing
sense.
this? Exactly, common sense. It's just if you lost certain fans, let them go.
Yeah,
let them walk out the door. Let them be. Let them go on. You are worried about. You are more concerned about the fans who are sticking around, the diehards like us,
right?
Who are going to stick around no matter what.
Some of us are hyper like me. Some of them are like quiet as a mouse. Some pass out. I mean, when what was his name at New York Comic Con that was on Torchwood? Yanto. Okay, I'm online with this girl, and she wanted to meet him. And I was working with him with the other convention that we don't name and everything, and stuff like that. And she couldn't speak. She was like, and he handled her so well, and she just kept tugging on me and stuff, and was like, and I'm like, okay. And he goes, do you like this? He handled her so well that today I don't think anybody would be able to handle somebody like that. We're like, get her away, get her away, get her away. She's taking up time. Get her away.
That's what I'm saying. Timescales, for sure.
Yeah.
It would have went to the next season. Everything would have done if people actually look at what's, like you said, the fans, everything, but also don't dismiss them.
Well, also you were asking me about showrunner, and like I said, I want a 2005 a 2005 run as opposed to 2025, because I think Russell planned that out so well. If this was under Russell, now I'm beginning to wonder, just like, was somebody helping him? Was somebody coaxing him along the way? Because the person who ran 2025 is not the same person. If you're starting with Doctor Who, and especially on Disney Plus, one of the things I appreciated that he thought through that Matthew Jacobs did not, was that not having the regeneration. Just start off with the new Doctor, just bring it in, and then later on as they did with Christopher Eccleston, then build it up. Okay, now we got a Time War. Now we got regenerations. Now we got Gallifrey, and build it up along the way so that people can go along the ride. And people, like me, who enjoy the nostalgia every once in a while that's brought back into the new Who, and people who are with us, we're going together on this ride, and we're understanding. When we did the 60th anniversary, and the 14th Doctor is making that speech, I said, why did he even make that speech? You should have started with David Tennant going on to the episode and let him.
Well, you also know 60 it's different because Bernie passed, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So that's why they also edited out a lot of stuff too.
You could still gone for the ride. I mean, the whole idea. It was the same thing with the 9th Doctor. We were following him through Rose. That's how we got to know the 9th Doctor, because we were seeing through the eyes of Rose, and then all of a sudden we started picking up on the 9th Doctor. When it came to 14, he had a whole speech at the very beginning of what was going on. This is no speeches. You knew better back in 2005. Why are you doing this now? And especially if you're bringing a completely new audience, then let them ride up together with the classic people, with the people who started back in 1963, with people who started in 1970.
So you're saying it could be allegedly PC'd? That's why they did it?
I'm saying that I think this is not an easy job. One thing I will give credit for Russell T Davies and everybody else, being a showrunner for something that has practically generations and trying to bridge it with one story that everybody can work on. That's a tough, I will sit back and say, guys, but the Russell T back in 2005, where was he for 2025?
I'm
where
still
were
thinking
all the great stories? Where was all the build up? And you can stop with this story arc. Stop with the by generation and all this nonsense. Stop with the timeless children. Just go back to just, being it simple and easy. And then every once in a while you can get a little complicated with the fun, but I'm going to just, get to the point where we're having now 2 Ronnies. Pun intended, Mark. So I'm just like,
and then you got they should have went to, then if they were doing that, they should have went to those little half-hour episodes they used to have in the beginning then.
I mean, you had people trying to swallow the timeless children pill. Now you threw in by generation. I'm like, well, okay, we're done. And I do know people who left are like, no. What I
got confused on that one. I was like, what?
and a lot of the critics were going like, okay, the planet's in trouble. What's the 14th Doctor doing these days? Why can't he help his other self?
Negotiating contracts.
He's retired and he's with the nobles. That's fine, but I'm like, the Ether's about to close, so he's just doing F all while he's sitting there having lunch. I mean, like, there's so many. It's not the cerebral anymore. It's just, how wacky can we be? And Mark, I think you can agree with me too. It's like the introduction of Omega, the introduction of the Ronnie. I mean, like, I feel like it was just name dropping. And for whose sake? It's not for people who are being reintroduced to the show. Hi, Kenzo.
Hey, Kenzo.
It's.
Yeah, no, I perfectly agree what you were saying there. I think this is where the problem lies, is that, like, if it's built for, like what Dave said, for a different generation, but yet they're still dropping in hints and doing stuff which is set back in the 70s, which the new generation wouldn't even know about.
Right.
Same thing with Sutek, same thing with Omega, same thing with Irani. So what are they trying to do? Are they trying to bring back the old fans, or are they just trying to concentrate on the new fans? And this is one of the hardest jobs they've got at the moment, because they don't know who they're looking for. Because at one moment, Dave said, like you said, Dave, they're trying to concentrate on the new generation.
Hey, Ropa.
But then they're chucking characters like Virani, Sutek, and Omega.
They're trying to bring that generation to the classics. That's also why we've got the 90-minute edits that we've got going on.
Yeah,
a brand new young person does not want to watch 10 parts of a black and white war games.
No, I perfectly agree with you there.
Right. It's all part of the same thing. Some of it's successful, some of it's not. Some of it will never up. People will never appreciate everything. We know that. There are people out there who are professional haters who are looking for something to, they make money off of outrage. And
well, we got
we're not that.
Political protesters. Yeah,
we're not that here. We're we want to bring things up rather than tear it down, and that's why I love it. Love our people here.
I was going to say I perfectly agree with some of what you're saying, Christian. I just think whoever writes Doctor Who needs to know what they're writing. I think if I was a showrunner, I think I would probably put a lot more, run it a bit more. I know it sounds bad, but Stranger Things has done really well.
Yeah,
and it captured out a lot of audience, including my little niece, my nephew. They're loving it. The
ending is another ending, right?
What are they doing different to what Doctor Who should be doing? Because their format is very, very 80s, very, very much cliffhanger at the last episode of each episode, which we don't get because we're doing episodic period. I think I would go back to the old style of leaving a cliffhanger on every episode. So you want to know
what I was saying. They want go to the part instead of, they should have made Ncuti's episodes the part series, especially with Disney.
And to a certain extent, they did. We had a very strong story arc going through these things with the Pantheon. I think they had it planned for 3 seasons, not 2, which was a mistake.
Which is why I think they also changed Sutek and Sue, because I think it was going to be Susan early on. Yeah.
But also with a show like Stranger Things, one of the things I think it's its biggest strength was that it stayed in the 80s. And not only that, it played along with the 80s. The 80s became its own character. And you could see little trinkets and things on
it was based in the story of the Montauk Project, which out here on Long Island, actual
the music games that we're playing. I mean, like it became its own character for the series.
Yes.
And when you do something like that,
especially getting Purple Rain,
because you got people who grew up 80s and they're like pointing out stuff. In the meantime, they're on this ride with a new generation of kids that are learning about the 80s through the eyes of these kids and how things were different. And D&D was the bonding for all, for the kids.
Just explain to me about Stranger Things real quick off topic. How old were they? They were graduating high school in 89, or was it something else?
Oh, I don't know. I gave up.
No, because I remember I grew up we all grew up in the 80s, but I also grew up, I don't know if I was the same age as the one that played the younger sister, or
we know Billy Bob.
Because I'm like, the way I saw the 80s, like to me, I think these were like my older cousins that were running around like that. That's what I'm saying. Like these were my older cousins. I was more like the little girl who got taken and everything, I think
when it stuck to what was good at was like you could tell the showrunners were big fans of the. It's the same thing with Cobra Kai. It really stuck with what was going on. It didn't flash out too much. I mean, they brought all the characters back in for pretty much, even
apart from Hilary Swank.
We don't talk about her anyway. They brought it all back in, so you had that nostalgia base with the folks who were going like, oh, there's this guy from the second movie. There's this guy. There's Johnny. There's Silver. They started bringing things back in, but you could do that with a new generation and reintroduce them to these characters while people are having their little nostalgia fun and going like, oh, Silver's back. Yeah, they're doing do this. And when it came to the final ending of the whole series, I'm like, damn. I mean, like I went on a ride for something that was my childhood, but there are people who are much younger than me watching the series. So I'm like, oh, we had they enjoyed something brand new and they had a relationship because of the new generation that was being played out in there. So that's what I would want as a showrunner. I want kids to feel how I felt when I was growing up. Doctor Who, not Dave, that they had black and white screens and and all that stuff, but the
color
I had that I could. I forgot who it was, but Gary from Neurotic said, this show is beyond race. This show is beyond sex. It's beyond gender. It's beyond anything. It's beyond everything that we had, the one condition that we should all have, the ultimate representation, is that everybody can connect to it. And this was the show I connected to when I was a kid, when I couldn't find a show that I could connect to so hard, as a guy with a scarf and a hat and floppy and teeth who went into a blue box and just went on amazing adventures. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of representation I think that goes across the board. It's beyond all this. That's the reputation. That's the thing.
Should have done is like they did when the new series started with Eccleston and everything, right? Mm-hmm. I found out it was back on because I'm coming home from waitressing job at midnight. I turned the TV on because I didn't have cable at the time, and I'm like, "Why does this sound familiar?" At the end, I hear the theme, and I'm like, then they go to the Who Confidential, and I'm like, they brought the series back. So I made sure to schedule my shift so that I was like ready to watch it on WLIW again and everything, so I could see the new season. And that's what we don't have it going on to public stations. You know, granted they're destroying public stations, but that's the way they should have introduced more people to it. Not only streaming, but get it onto public television.
Well, we're coming to a hard end, and guys, I mean, we can keep this conversation going, maybe part 2 and 3, but then just real fast, I want to let people know about upcoming conventions. Of course, we can actually lock in now and say that we will be at Central Florida Comic-Con, in a week, 2 weekends from now.
Damn.
And we will be there with Dalek Nelson. So we will be with one of the Daleks of Florida if you want to check it out. It's at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland, Florida. Don't get your tickets now. We can also confirm that we will be at Space Coast Comic-Con June 20th through the 21st. You can scan that barcode. We may be there with Dalek Cow, still working the bugs out on that one, but Space Coast Comic-Con will definitely be there. And of course, we will be with all the Daleks at Ancient City Con September 25th through the 27th at the World Golf Village Renaissance Resort. So we've already locked in 3 conventions out there. And of course, we want to thank we want to thank everybody for giving us this magical number. Again, thank you. What's the title again? It's silver button.
I think it's silver. Yeah,
we get the silver button, and I'm like, well, hopefully we'll keep going until we get that 1 million. And I'm supposed to hug everybody that I meet along the way, so I was just like, I've already got 100,000 to start. So thank you everybody for doing that. Dave, did you have something coming up, right?
I don't have anything specific as far as appearances go. You can find me all the usual places. Sundays on Spill the Geek Tea.
Yay.
Every other Monday on Horses on Film. Tuesdays right here on The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. As well, we've got this weekend I'll be on Earth Station Who, so you can tune into them as well. So you'll hear me talking about the Paternoster gang over there. And of course, we also just had on New Year's Day, we dropped our latest episode of Happiness Patrol.
Yeah.
youtube.com/@Happiness Patrol Show. So you can join us there. It's going to be a great time there. Please give us a subscribe. We love you all for that and Horses on Film. We're having a great time doing it. We want you guys to join us. Horses on Film, we're talking about the top 100 Westerns of all time. And right now on Happiness Patrol, we're talking about Star Wars. That's going to change for the second season. So you want to sign up now, get in on the ground floor. Next season's going to be ripping and roaring, and it'll be a bunch of bangers.
Candyman, where can people find you, my friend?
Okay, you can find me here at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You can also find Tom. No.
What was that?
I'm not going to say it.
I didn't catch that. What was that?
Yeah.
Right. One time on the Spill the Geek Tea show, I combined the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS and Spill Geek Tea in one word. And I said the Legend of the Spill the Geek Tea. Yep. And from now onwards, Tom always tries to get me to say that. So, not
the Legend
happening.
of the Spill Horses.
Yeah.
On the Geek Tea. Something like that. Happiness.
So
Happiness.
You can find me at my Instagram at cyborgt100_cosplay, where I put posts of all the sort of stuff I get up to. Crazy cosplay stuff. Mainly unit, but you never know.
Speaking of unit, Tom, where can people find you?
I was killed in a unit story, so I'm not very happy with Sergeant Benton. I can't remember. I put up these freaking banners. I can't remember. I put the banners.
Go ahead, sir.
Channel here and that channel there, and with him when he goes on that channel there, and this and that.
There you go. Gotcha. Where people can find you. Let's wrap it up.
Usually the normal haunts, New York Comic-Con, Anime NYC, which they're dropping their tickets soon and everything. Lulu.com, please, guys. I can't find work, so can you guys buy these so I can actually pay the bills and everything? It's all on Lulu.com. I also have a GoFundMe out there that someone surprised me with and everything and stuff. Right. And thank you again for that and everything. It is real and stuff. Also in the works is going to be Gadget Pendragon After Dark. Basically, I'm going to have 2 shows, Gadget Vlogs and Dark. Yeah, because I'm going to have it where Gadget Vlogs will be the clean version. And After Dark is where if the stars want to stay or anything, they can talk about other things and stuff and everything like that. But basically, like, really, like, stuff that you have to air after, like, 10 o'clock at night. Because I know how YouTube and everybody's alleged bots are and everything. So that works on everything. But it's also to go more into details, like the stuff that you don't, you know what I mean? Like, how do I put it? We're adult. Let's put it that way, too, and everything. The other one's going to be, like, preteen, teenager type thing and stuff, and this will be more like teen adult, like over 21 stuff like that, 18. Yeah, I'm working on it. I got theories.
And next week we're going to have Ben Penrod, who is the showrunner for Central Florida Comic-Con. We'll be interviewing him and discussing more about the event coming up in 2 weekends from now. And don't forget to get our sponsor out there. Have you gotten this yet? Please tell me you did get Candyman.
I haven't ordered it yet at the moment.
Oh, no, that's fine. Okay.
I'm waiting for his ranch version, so I was going to buy the barbecue and ranch together.
Goodness. So anyway, this will be being sold at both Central Florida Comic-Con and at MegaCon. So if you want to get one and you don't want to wait for the mail service, we'll have these over in Lakeland and Orlando at Orlando MegaCon. And that's it, folks. We're going to go ahead. Don't forget to say goodnight to Simon on the way out. Lovely man. And we also have Tony on there. And again, thank you so much for bringing, God, wrong banner, 100,000.
No, we're getting there.
Yep, we are. Well, that's 2.7 million views. I'm just like, okay, yeah, we're getting there. So again, thank you, everybody. Please stay safe. Thank you for joining us. And as always, until the next adventure, Tony, take us out.
Night, Simon.
Good night, Simon. Can I just hit an end stream button? Yeah,